Alright guys, welcome once again to this session. I'll be taking us through the patient registration model that's register a patient as it is captured on the NMRS. But then I'll want to welcome each and every one of us. For those of us who are visiting these videos for the first time, there have been a couple of videos like this for NMRS users. So if you are visiting for the first time, you may want to lay your hands on the previous ones. Check on my archive, you would see more relevant, relevant videos that you may want to reckon with. So that being said, alright, so like I mentioned earlier, this is going to look at patient registration. So for of course any NMRS user, you may want to log into your database with your username and password and then the selected location. Once you're done with imputing all of that, click on login. And then for the patient registration module, it's on my screen, the first column and the third row, the icon right there. But depending on your interface and for your machine, you may have it located at a different position. So I simply click on that icon and this will take me to register a patient form. That's a form for patient registration. At this instance, let me say here that NMRS has assigned 5 different sections to the patient registration. That's the demographic, contact information, relationship, patient identifier, and confirm. Alright, so basically each of these sessions have subsessions underneath. So but I'm going to start with the first, which is demographics. Demographics starts with a name, gender, and birth date. So for the name, you are required to impute at least 2 basic components of a name for that client, which is first the given name and the last the required name, which is the family name. Both of these are required. So the given name may also at times be referred to as the first name, and then the family name could be the surname in some context. So while the middle name is optional for those of us who may have up to 3 names, you may have to impute the middle name for such a client. Alright, so for this client, I may decide to call, this client's name, let me put it that way, maybe client ABC, and then perhaps the surname is DEF. And then once I capture that, all I need to do is click on a different location on the NMRS. That's the interface, the form. This would tentatively save that input you just made, or perhaps you could just click on the next item you would want to impute. Once you click on the next item, you could see the name icon or the name box has a tick by the side which says, yeah, we've seen this. Alright, so move over to gender. Of course, at the moment, NMRS only recognizes the 2 nationally recognized gender in Nigeria, which is male and female. So I'm saying this with respect to colleagues who may have CAPI implementation in their facility. So for now, we only deal with the 2 recognized gender, that's male and female. So let's say that client ABC is a male, and then I chose male and go ahead to click on birth dates. And then also NMRS has a year limit. The year limit for birth date is in the year 1904. So anything you capture prior to this time, or any birthday that's beyond this time, NMRS doesn't give you room to capture that. Let's say, for instance, this person was born in 01 as January. Let's say you chose the month. Of course, the month has a drop down where you chose the where it gives you the list of months in the year. Of course, this month May, and let's call this 1900. Okay, so if you try to save this, like I said earlier, if you try to save this and move ahead to the next information, you'd see a flag telling you that it only takes a minimum of 1904 as the minimum birth year. Alright, so you may want to impute. Let's see if we can change this to 1905 and then click the next item. Fine. Okay, so fine, we are good with that. But then I wanted to also mention that the options for birth dates is made a bit flexible for reasons that some clients, especially in these advanced ages, may not exactly know when they were what their birthday and birth month is, but they can possibly give a trace to when they were born. So you may use estimated years to estimate either the year or the year and the month, which would eventually give you which would eventually inform NMRS database programs on what estimated birthday month or year should be allocated to you. Of course, the birthday would be the first day of the month that is estimated, or the birth month would be the first month of the year that is estimated. Fine. So we'll move ahead to the next item, which is contact information. Of course, we want to get the address. So we have a search, a quick search by address, which would enable you search through the database, or search through the database to see if you have related addresses to the current client's address. Just to make it quick for you on your database. Fine. So away from that also is the different sections for a more detailed address capture of such a client. Of course, it starts with country, and I may want to click on country for instances where you've had the country captured for several clients. This gives you an intelligence to bring up any available country on your database, and of course any other entries you've made on your database prior to now. So I'll quickly say, let me choose the country Nigeria. Once I start typing, of course, intelligence, like I said earlier on, brings in Nigeria. I choose from there, and then the states. Let's say the states is or let me say Anambra State, and then local government is, let's say, Aguata, and I'm choosing the address. I may want to impute an address for this client. Let's say chose 22 Murtala Mohammed Way. Okay, so Aguata. Okay, so this should fly. Alright, so if you have any other second address, you may go ahead and impute that. And with this, you're done with the address for that client. Go ahead and click on the phone number. We would want to be very careful with this, because any mistake with the phone number would mean you will be having difficulty reaching this client. So you may want to impute the phone number of that client. In this session, call it 0. Okay, let me just pick this last year's phone number, and then move ahead to the next set of information, what is the relationship. Of course, so the relationship is now looking at this client with respect to the people on the database in that facility, ranging from biological contacts to, of course, as we shall see in the options. So this client, does he have 1 or 2 or 3 persons on the database for this particular facility whom he or she is related to? Okay, so that's the question that this session seems to answer. Yes, he has, and that person is a doctor in that facility. Fine. Or yes, he has, and that person is a parent. Yes, he has, and that person is a supervisor. So I'll simply say, okay, yes, he has, and that person is a sibling in this case, assuming. And then the person's name, that's the sibling's name, the sibling of this new contact. What's the name? Okay, so in this case, I may say the name is GHI. Okay, okay, if this is a name, I should start with the block. Okay. All right, so with this, we're done with this. The next thing we would want to do is to allocate a hospital number to these clients. Of course, this is peculiar by facility. So let's say in this case, the hospital number could be, some facilities or some states have a unique pattern to give unique IDs to their clients. All right, so okay, so I decided to allocate this unique ID to these clients. This is actually subject to the modality for allocation of unique ID by the facility. So I say ANA/001/2024 clients/123 clients 123. With this, I click outside. Yeah, it is saved locally. I click on confirm. So at this point, I want to just validate my details for these clients. Clients A, B, C, D, E, F. Is a male who was born at this day with this address and all of that. Okay, everything is not so fine. If I'm feeling that way, I could click cancel, or yeah, everything is perfect. Go ahead and submit. I'll just click and confirm and submit. So with this, you'll see NMRS will just save this information for this client, and then you'll be able to see it takes you automatically to the next interface where you look at the program area where you will want to offer services to these clients. And of course, for this implementation, we are looking at HIV program area. So you may want to click on that to see the different services these clients will be eligible for. But before then, if you have any peculiar information for these clients, you just click on that place where you have that notes and drop such an information, so that at the first glance, any person who sees this client and wants to get details about these clients could just see that up there, or objections or something like that. That's where you get a note about that client. Also, you may have to want to review do take a second look at the client's information, or perhaps a client comes up subsequently and has an updated demographics, and you don't want to update, you could click on that show contact information, and make a little editing from there. Also, you could click on this editing or edit, and make those updates where applicable as well. All right, so that being said, it's worthy to note here also that we know NMRS would automatically allocate a patient ID to a client you enroll on the database. But before having said that, I just want to show us the interface for the HIV program area, which shall be a topic for discussion in the next video. However, you could actually see we have HTS, ART, recency, and HEI. These service areas are service areas that you may want to, or the clients and ART clients will have to access services from. So we'll take these service areas and discuss in our next videos. However, I'll just want to also say here that okay, so this is how far we've been able to go today. I'll see you subsequently in the next video, as we shall take on HTS, ART, recency, and HEI service areas for ART clients. Alright, so thank you so much, and do well to check the rest of the videos that are accompanying this to get yourself fully abreast with the modalities and of course with the documentation for NMRS. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.